Hi guys, Alec, Peirce, Scuba Tech Tips. Here we have a BCD. I'm sure any of you who have been diving for more than a week recognize this BCD. And this is a fantastic piece of equipment. But actually, you know, it's a pretty standard BC. It's a techie or high-end BC, granted. Shoulder straps and has a waistband, has a crotch strap. You know how many times I've sworn a crotch strap since I started diving in the 60s? And now this new BC has a crotch strap. It's there for a reason. Sometimes these you use with double tanks and they tend to flop around a little bit. It has a standard inflator hose, inflate, oral inflate, all kinds, I don't know, clips, all kinds of, and the BC itself is tiny. The extra air cell back here is quite tiny. Now I believe with this particular model that you can get different sized air cells depending on your needs. That's where your local dive store comes in to help you make sure you get the right BC. And of course these are cheap, yes. No, you don't buy these at the dollar store. But if this is the BCD that you need to make your diving comfortable and safe, cost doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Think about that for a minute. Take care of it, it'll last forever. So I hate to use this term, I hate it. This is what insurance people say. It's an investment. Well, it's an investment in your comfort and safety is what it's an investment. It's not an investment in terms of money. But this is what a modern BCD looks like. All kinds of toys, clips and rings, I can't even tell you, and all kinds of accessories. You can put on clip-on weights, all kinds. It's unbelievable. I want to show you what BCDs were like when I started diving to compare to this beauty here. Put it over your head, put the strap around your waist. Let's go diving. What's taking you so long? That's it. Yeah. These were called a horse collar BC. Do I need to explain why they were called a horse collar BC? No, I shouldn't have to. And it's just about that simple. It's just that easy. If you wanted to let air out, well, we had a mechanism here to let air out, and you could just let it out. And there's a valve in here to blow, to orally inflate it, let it out. How about putting air in? It doesn't have a power inflate. Like you see, all BCs today have power inflate. You know, it connects to your air tank. You push the button. Fantastic, safe, easy, and contrary to what old guys, I always get a kick out of that when I say old guys, contrary to what old divers might tell you, it does not use air from your tank excessively. Old divers at one time didn't want these because I don't want to use the air out of my tank. I want to have a nice long dive. And what they didn't understand was judicious use of the power inflator actually saves effort on your part. The dive is longer. Anyway, but this doesn't have that. How do you do it? Well, it's really very simple. You see down here? Push the button. Just push the button. It has its own tank. Yeah, you old-time divers. Yeah, if you don't want to use the air from your tank, use this tank. Look at that, yeah. Push the button. BC blows up. Pretty slick, huh? And then this tank, actually it's pretty slick because this tank pops off, and you may or may not recognize this thing here on the end of it, but that's a yoke. The same as your regulator. You put it onto your scuba tank, fill it up again, off you go. So it's pretty slick. It was simple and easy to use, safe, worked really, really well. That's how they've changed. Simple to a lot more sophisticated. I was going to say complicated, but I think it'd be better, it'd be fairer to say sophisticated. Lots of features, power inflate, oral inflate, dump, everyth's in there. This doesn't have that, it's just that simple. Now, this also has another feature, which is good that it's gone, and that is a CO2 cartridge. Somewhere in here, there it is right there. And these also had a very small cartridge, CO2 cartridge, like the ones that you use to fill your seltzer dispenser or in a bar, a little cartridge that plugs in there, and you just reach down and get that yank. It will fill the BCD up. Yeah. Those have been discontinued for a long time. Maybe you think about it for a minute, you can understand why having your BCD instantly fully inflate, not really a good idea. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that the gas that's inside the BCD is not safe to drink. So there you go. Nice and simple, even with a big head like me, old-fashioned, not used anymore. And there you go. Sophisticated BC, lasts you forever, You've got every possible combination, all the toys, bells, and whistles you could hope for. There are simpler ones, by the way. You can get good, solid, simple BCDs that will also do a great job. That's where your local dive store comes in. Go in and talk to him, the type of diving you do, and he'll help you, whether it's one like this or a simpler one. But they have changed. They have changed a great deal over the years. I like them. I use one of these. I don't use that anymore. No way. These are great. Anyway, just some thoughts. You might want to make a comment on there if you are old and you use the old BC and like them, or if you're a new diver and you're kind of interested in the old BC. They're pretty neat, but you like these. Anyway, that's it for today. A short one. Alec Peirce, Scuba Tech Tips at Dive Source in Whitby, Ontario. Talk to you again soon.